Extension, Kansas Prairie, day. Sound of a relentless wind whistling through tall grass. The sky is a vast, unforgiving blue. The land is flat, stretching to the horizon in every direction. A single figure on horseback, U.S. Marshal Elias Thatcher, 40s, weathered, eyes that have seen too much, wears a badge and a weary determination, moves slowly along a faint trail. He checks a worn map, squinting against the sun. A crude gex marks a location, Bender's Inn and Groceries. He nudges his horse forward. Extension, Bender's property, later. The place appears like a mirage, a long, low, crudely built cabin split into two sections. One side has a sign, Bender's Inn and Groceries. The other is clearly the living quarters. A small barn and a well stand nearby. It's quiet. Too quiet. A large, hulking man, John Bender Jr., 20s, brutish, slow-eyed, with a vacant but threatening presence, splits wood with a heavy, rhythmic thud. He stops and stares, unblinking, as Thatcher approaches. Thatcher. Howdy. Marshal Elias Thatcher. Looking for supplies and information. John Jr. just grunts and gestures with his chin toward the store door. Int. Bender's store, continuous. The store is dim, dusty, and poorly stocked. Shelves hold goods, tools, and bolts of fabric. Kate Bender, 20s, striking, with intense, intelligent eyes and an unsettlingly direct gaze, stands behind the counter. She smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Kate. Welcome, Marshal. A rare honor. What brings you so far from civilization? Thatcher. Cordial but alert. Tracking a man. A preacher. Dr. William York. Passed through this way some weeks back. Headed to Fort Scott. Never arrived. Kate's smile tightens almost imperceptibly. Kate. Many travelers pass through. We offer a room for the night, a hot meal. My mother is an excellent cook. Perhaps the good preacher stayed and then continued on his way. Elder Mrs. Bender, 50s, stern, European accent, face like a closed door, emerges from the back living quarters. She eyes Thatcher with deep suspicion. Elder Mrs. Bender. You buy something, or you ask questions? Thatcher. I'll take some coffee. And answers, if you have them. He lays a silver dollar on the counter. Kate's eyes flicker to it. Kate. We saw no preacher. The prairie is vast. Men get lost. The wolves and the elements are not forgiving. At that moment, Old Man Bender, 60s, grizzled, speaks with a thick German accent, enters from the outside, wiping his hands on a rag. He looks at Thatcher, then at his family. A silent communication passes between them. Old Man Bender. You stay for dinner, Marshal? We have stew. Thatcher feels the weight of their collective gaze. Something is off. The atmosphere is thick, cloying. Thatcher. I appreciate the offer, but I'll be moving on. Thank you for the coffee. He takes his purchase and leaves. As he mounts his horse, he sees the entire Bender family standing in the doorway of the store, watching him go. A perfect, still, and deeply unnerving tableau. Extension, prairie, night. Thatcher has made a cold camp a mile away. He stares into his fire, the preacher's wanted poster in his hand. Not a criminal, but a missing person. A family man. He looks back in the direction of the Bender property. A single light glows in the window. He can't shake the feeling. The unnatural silence. The way they looked at him. Not like people, but like predators assessing prey. Extension, Bender's property, and next day. Thatcher returns, but this time he approaches from the rear, concealing his horse in a stand of trees. He observes from a distance. He sees Kate Bender hanging laundry. She is singing a soft, haunting folk song in German. He sees John Jr. digging a new post hole for a fence. The work is violent, aggressive. He sees Old Man Bender tending a small, pathetic vegetable garden. It looks normal. Boring, even. But the dread in Thatcher's gut only grows. Extension, local town, general store, day. Thatcher is in a small, dusty town. He talks to the shopkeeper. Thatcher. The Benders. Out on the Ridge Road. What do you know about them? Shopkeeper. Spits tobacco. Keep to themselves. German folks. The daughter, Kate, she fancies herself a spiritualist. Hold seances for lonely wives. Odd bunch. Why? Thatcher. Just curious. They seem isolated. Shopkeeper. Aye. And folks who go out that way, sometimes they don't come back. But that's the prairie for YA. It swallows people whole. The shopkeeper's words hang in the air. It swallows people whole. Extension, prairie, night. A traveler, 50s, friendly, rides along the trail. A storm is brewing. He sees the light at Bender's and rides toward it, desperate for shelter. Int. Bender's dining room, night. The traveler sits at the table with the Bender family. A curtain is strung across the middle of the room, separating the dining area from the store. Elder Mrs. Bender serves a steaming bowl of stew. Kate smiles warmly. Kate, you are lucky you found us. A night out there would be terrible. Traveler, God bless you. I surely appreciate it. As the traveler eats hungrily, Kate positions herself behind his chair. Old Man Bender and John Jr. watch, their expressions blank. The traveler compliments the stew. Traveler, this is wonderful. His words are cut short. Kate swings a heavy hammer, hidden behind the curtain, in a brutal arc. Sound a sickening, wet crack. The traveler slumps forward, dead before he hits the table. The family doesn't flinch. This is routine. John Jr. grabs the body under the arms. Old Man Bender takes the feet. They carry him through a trap door in the floor that leads to the dirt cellar below. Elder Mrs. Bender begins mopping up the blood with a rag. Kate picks the man's pockets, counting his money. She smiles. Cut to. Extension, Bender's property, night. Thatcher, watching from the trees, sees the light in the window go out. He saw the traveler go in. He never saw him leave. He draws his revolver and moves closer. Int. Bender's store, the next day. Thatcher enters again. The place looks the same, but he notices a fresh stain on the wooden floorboards near the curtain. Kate is there. Her smile is more forced today. Kate. Marshall. You returned. Did you lose your way again? Thatcher. Just following leads. Thought I might get a room for the night. Storm's rolling in. Kate's eyes light up with a predatory glint. Kate. Of course. We have one available. Cash in advance. Thatcher pays her. As he does, his eyes scan the room. He sees the curtain is now tied back. Behind it is just a wall. But his eyes drop to the floor. The boards there look different. Newer. One has a small, dark stain. Old Man Bender enters. Old Man Bender. You stay for dinner. It isn't a question. Int. Bender's dining room, night. Thatcher sits at the same table. The stew is placed before him. It smells good, but his stomach churns. The family watches him. John Jr. looms in the doorway. Kate stands near the curtain. Her hand is behind it. Thatcher. Pushing the bowl away. Smells delicious, but I'm not hungry. Long ride. A flicker of annoyance from Elder Mrs. Bender. Elder Mrs. Bender. You eat. Is good. Thatcher's hand is near his revolver under the table. He feels the tension ratchet up. They are waiting for him to take a bite, to be distracted. He makes a show of looking around. Thatcher. Interesting construction. One long building. Do you get many guests? He stands up abruptly. The family tenses. Kate's grip tightens on the hammer behind the curtain. Thatcher. I think I'll turn in. Long day tomorrow. He takes a step toward the door to the guest room. As he passes the stained floorboard, his boot heel lands on one end of it. The other end lifts slightly, like a loose tile. A cold draft of air whispers up from below. It carries a faint, unmistakable smell, the coppery tang of blood and the sweet, rotten stench of death. Thatcher freezes. His eyes meet Kate's. The pretense shatters. She knows that he knows. Kate. Quietly, coldly. A pity. In a flash, she swings the hammer. Thatcher draws his pistol and ducks. Bang! The gunshot is deafening in the small room. The hammer clatters to the floor. Chaos erupts. John Jr. roars and charges. Thatcher sidesteps and pistol whips him across the face. The big man goes down hard. Old Man Bender pulls a knife. Elder Mrs. Bender screeches and lunges with a meat cleaver. Thatcher is a whirlwind of violence. He shoots Old Man Bender in the shoulder. He kicks the cleaver from the old woman's hand. He turns to aim at Kate, but she's gone. Int. Bender's cabin, continuous. Thatcher kicks open the trap door. He grabs a lantern, lights it, and descends into the darkness. Int. Cellar, continuous. The lantern light reveals hell. The earth floor is stained black with blood. Tools of butchery hang from the walls. And in the corner, piled like cordwood, are bodies. Dozens of them, in various states of decay. The missing preacher, Dr. York, is among them, his eyes staring vacantly. Thatcher gags, his hand going to his mouth. A shadow moves behind him. He turns. Kate stands at the bottom of the stairs, holding a long, bloody knife. Kate, you should have eaten the stew, Marshall. It would have been easier. She lunges. They grapple in the horrific pit. It's a brutal, savage fight amidst the dead. Thatcher is stronger, but Kate is feral, fueled by madness. He finally disarms her, pinning her to the dirt floor amidst the corpses of her victims. He handcuffs her. Extension, Bender's property, dawn. Thatcher marches Kate, her hands bound, out of the cellar. He has also tied up the wounded old man Bender and the scowling elder Mrs. Bender. John Jr. is still unconscious. Thatcher looks exhausted, haunted. He sees a shovel. He begins to dig, not in the cellar, but out in the orchard. With every thrust of the shovel, he uncovers more horrors. Bones. Shreds of clothing. A child's doll. The scale of the atrocity is immense. Extension, prairie, day. A wagon carrying the captured Bender family, under guard by a now posse of men from town, moves slowly across the prairie. Thatcher rides alongside, his face a stone mask. The shopkeeper rides up next to him. Shopkeeper. My God, Marshall. How many? Thatcher just shakes his head, unable to speak. He looks back at the lonely, evil place as it shrinks on the horizon. But the story doesn't end with justice. The historical mystery takes over. A rider approaches at a gallop, yelling, "Rider! Marshall! They're gone!" Thatcher. What? Rider. The jail in Cherryvale. They're gone. Vanished. No one saw a thing. Thatcher stares, disbelief turning to a profound, chilling horror. They escaped. The evil wasn't contained in that cabin. It was released back into the world. He looks out at the endless, swallowing prairie. Fade to black. Over black text. The Benders were never found. Their fate remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. The exact number of their victims is unknown, but estimates range from 11 to over 20. They were, arguably, America's first serial killer family. If you liked the video, please subscribe.